All right, everyone, welcome to this weekend Sidereal Astrology forecast for September 29th through October 1st of 2017. This is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, definitely check out the link down below. The signs are different. Basically, we're using the actual size of the constellations here. All right, so this weekend, we got a couple aspects taking place. Venus is going to be opposite up to Neptune on Friday. And then Mars is going to start to trine up to Pluto going into Sunday. So two very different energies. Neptune is about water. It's about spirituality. It's about receptivity. And so that could very well be the emphasis around Friday. So the first half of the weekend. And that could have to do with maybe relationships or the things we value in life, such as our finances or resources. So good on Friday to find the balance with this. Sometimes with Neptune, we tend to want to escape or kind of have illusions or fantasies about things. So it's good to stay nice and grounded when it comes to relationships and our values. And what I mean by that is really presence with Neptune. That's, you know, a good way of looking at what Neptune is trying to get us to do, so to speak, is to find presence, to be in the now moment, and to accept things for how they are. So in relationships, certainly that unconditionality can be great, acceptance there. And then in terms of our finances or resources, being grateful for what we have is also a great way of working with that. So anyways, that's the first half, definitely that watery energy. But as we start to get into the second half of the weekend, Mars trining Pluto is very fiery, especially because Mars is in Leo and Pluto is in Sagittarius. So this can be very good for initiating things, all right? We've had Pluto recently go direct last Thursday. And so this sort of facing our fears and implementing things in the face of fears or taking action in the face of fear is just really moving forward. And with this can be very supportive. All right, so very good for that. Or we could just be feeling a bit confident, motivated, driven going into Monday. But either way, really good weekend for that type of stuff. All right, so let's go and look at all of this in more detail here in just a few seconds. All right, so let's break this down in terms of Friday first. On Friday, we'll still have the moon in Sagittarius, which was the case on Thursday as well. And this is about a bit of that adventurousness, right? Sagittarius is the centaur. It's about the bottom half of the centaur being a horse. It's about, yes, expanding, right? Tapping into that adventurous spirit and that free range, right, of life when we are tapping into that spirit for life. Now, the top half of the centaur is aiming a bow, right? So it is also about pursuing our life path. So Friday, really good day for, again, accessing a bit of that spirit to pursue the things that we're aiming at and anything else that we feel like we want to expand with in general. And we could just be feeling this way, you know, just a bit open-minded, you know, and open to adventure with the moon in Sag. Now on Friday, that's when Venus does oppose up to Neptune. As you can see here, it's this red line going into Saturday a bit. And so not a totally challenging thing, but again, oppositions are about balance. So when it does come to the relationships and values, good to do that. Gratitude is fantastic. Unconditionality in our relationships, acceptance, and being aware of the mind if the mind is wandering with Neptune. Because again, Neptune is that side of ourself that wants to hide away or escape or dissolve and just join the vastness of life, all right? The no-thingness even. So if there is anything that's extreme with this, if there is anything imbalanced, and there will be for all of us to a degree, good to stay centered, right? And presence, being here now, and accepting the here now, and also accepting perhaps the relationship or other in general interaction and or the resources, right? That acceptance really does help us stay nice and present, grateful, and as a result, very you know, unconditional and, you know, receptive to those things in life. And as a result, it can be a very easygoing day, in fact, a very spiritual day. And yeah, very grateful day as well. So that's Friday, and we do have some minor lunar aspects taking place around the same time there. On a minor note, in terms of how we're feeling, the moon squaring Uranus and Jupiter, who are opposite each other, there can be maybe an emotional bit of erraticness, maybe wanting to break free or expand again, but maybe just in an exuberant way with that Jupiter square. So whatever it is, it's good to be aware of the feelings and find healthy ways of implementing any freedom that you are feeling, right? So listening to that, listening to the freedom, not ignoring it, but just finding the healthy ways of bringing in a bit of spontaneity in your life, or whatever else you feel like your emotions are telling you about needing some freedom in general. All right, so that's Friday. Then as we get into Saturday, there's more of a grounded energy. We do have the moon shifting into Capricorn, actually, Saturday and Sunday. So although we start to feel that Mars trine Pluto fire Saturday, Sunday, there is this grounded energy of Capricorn. Capricorn is basically about responsibility. So we could be feeling responsible. Makes it a great day for anything that requires responsibility in general. And just taking things one step at a time. Right, it's the sea goats. The goat side of it is just taking it one step at a time, climbing the mountain. And the sea side of it really is that we're always rooted in that present moment, right? That we're spiritual beings. That's where our roots are. So again, staying connected to that does very much go hand in hand with Capricorn. But anyways, with this more responsible feeling, detachment, maybe even with the emotions, yes, we start to feel this Mars trine up to Pluto fire energy, right? Mars is in Leo, Pluto's in Sagittarius. And so, like I was saying last Thursday, things started to move forward in terms of implementing some things that we might be afraid of, right, in our life. But now there's a very good support with this around Sunday, right? So Mars is traditionally the ruler of Scorpio. Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio. So this can be a very deep energy. But it's deep in a very supportive way and very powerfully. So with Mars, it's our masculine side. It's confidence, perhaps. It is motivation. It is drive. For some of us, it might be energy, right? So it's usually to, with Pluto, remove some obstacles, face some fears, make some changes, perhaps. And with Mars, initiate them, implement them. You know, implement these things or this energy in general. Which makes it a fantastic weekend for change. All right, or maybe we're just feeling this way and it might be good just to get a dose of that confidence and pursue our personal needs, maybe just feeling a bit independent. But if you do want to channel it into something in your life, it might be a very good weekend to do that. All right, so that's the weekend in a nutshell. One thing I also want to mention is we are entering the gibbous phase this weekend. So there is this more momentum we're building. You know, last week was the first quarter. That was more about sort of willing ourselves to initiate things, all right? But now there's a bit of support, a bit of momentum moving forward as we approach the full moon, which I believe is next week. All right, so yep, that's the weekend. Hope you guys have a great one. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you all on Monday for the next daily forecast.